when you have already destroyed that man's reputation we have gone to the press and do all those things, you have destroyed him, and then it will be hard to, to recall what you have done.
This provision is aimed at protecting the very person of the person making any information or giving information to ICPC, such that they will not be subjected to harassment and kind of victimization.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Transparency Files. I'm your host, Hawasani Gadba. Every year, the African Union Anti-Corruption Day is commemorated on July 11th, a date that marks the adoption of the African Union Convention on Preventing and Combating Corruption in 2003. Since then, the day has served as a platform for dialogue and reflection on the continent's ongoing battle against corruption. On today's episode, our spotlight is on the 2025 theme, Promoting Human Dignity in the Fight Against Corruption. But before we dive deeper into the topic, let's catch up on anti-corruption updates with Joy Aja. Later in the program, we will bring you highlights from our state offices, a special segment on Know Your Act and other exciting features. Stay tuned.
Hello viewers, thank you for joining us. My name is Joy Aja with Anti-Corruption Stories. The Nigerian Senate has commended ICPC for its commendable and consistent adherence to the principles of federal character in the composition of its workforce and distribution of positions within the organization. This recognition was given at the National Assembly in Abuja by the chairman of the Senate Committee on Federal Character and Intergovernmental Affairs, Senator Orwell Onyeso, during the appearance of the ICPC chairman Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu SAN and his management team before the committee to present the commission's staff profile and deployment statistics. Speaking after the presentation, Senator Onyeso expressed deep satisfaction with the commission's transparency and inclusive practices. He praised ICPC for demonstrating a clear commitment to fairness, equity, and national representation in its appointments and promotions.
I don't know what else to tell you because my colleagues said everything. I want to say that on behalf of the Senate President and all the leaders of the National Assembly, I appreciate you. I will direct from now on, if we have any problem with any group, we send them to you. We talk to them and say they should come to ICPC. So when you see them, we send them. They should go and meet you and find out how you were able to achieve this. You have done fantastically well. And Nigerians should see that even something good can come out of Nigeria. Well done. And so every Nigerian should, how do they say with a Christian, want to use you as point of contact. They want to reach anything good. We thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And they should see that if we see something good, we point it out that this is good.
Presenting the Commission's personnel statistics, the ICPC chairman, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu SAN, disclosed that the Commission currently has 1,163 staff members fairly distributed across the 6 geopolitical zones. He reaffirmed the Commission's dedication to promoting equity and inclusiveness, noting that these values are central to its mandate of fostering integrity and good governance in Nigeria. In another development, ICPC has secured conviction in a case involving a staff member of the Federal Ministry of Aviation, Elvis Simon Okerenyi, who was facing charges bordering on forgery and giving fake employment to a job seeker. Investigations revealed that Mr. Okerenyi had allegedly defrauded a job seeker, Titus Tavashima, of the sum of 1 million naira to secure employment in the Federal Civil Service. This act is contrary to Section 320 and punishable under Section 322 of the Penal Code Cap 532, Laws of the Federal Capital Territory, Nigeria, 2006. Subsequently, the defendant entered into a plea bargain agreement with the prosecution. The initial 7-count charge was amended to a count charge to which the defendant pleaded guilty. The defendant pleaded guilty upon his arraignment based on a plea bargain agreement before Justice S.C. Oji of the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory and was convicted pursuant to Section 270, subsection 10, ACJA on the only charge in the amended charge. The court further sentenced the convict to 1 year imprisonment or an option of fine of 200,000 naira and ordered him to restitute the sum of 350,000 naira to Titus Tavashima, the victim of his crime. And that'll be all on this segment. Transparency Files continues with Hawa. Please stay with us.
Oh yeah, bring your 200 naira. I no get change, oh.
My son, na only 100 naira I get. I beg, help me now.
Who be your son? Pay your complete money or you go down. Now you buy this bus for me.
Come, madam. If you no get change, come out the car. We no do again. Come out. Waiting the other one.
Leave her. I'll pay for her. You don't have to violate her human dignity simply because she cannot afford a fare.
What you just did there reminded me of the good old days when human dignity was placed above any gain in our workplace. We used to treat each other with respect and self-worth. What defined us as people then was our respect for humanity. How those values and virtues were lost is still puzzling to me, but your action gives me hope that the rebirth of our moral values is possible. Always show care and concern for other people. Even if you don't know them, we must be fair and just to all manner of people, rich or poor, young or old.
You're right, Baba. We all need to be reminded of the importance of treating each other with respect and dignity.
This message is brought to you by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offenses Commission.
You are still watching Transparency Files. The African Union has consistently emphasized that corruption undermines Africa's development goals, from lifting people out of poverty to delivering quality education, healthcare, and other essential services. Corruption continues to slow progress on both the AU Agenda 2063 and the Sustainable Development Goals. This year's conversation centers on how to promote a stronger understanding among stakeholders, especially on the importance of integrating human dignity into anti-corruption efforts and strategies. Human dignity significantly strengthens anti-corruption efforts by promoting values, systems, and behaviors that reject exploitation and injustice. To shed more light on this subject, we spoke to Deputy Director Kingsley Obi of the Public Enlightenment and Education Department of ICPC. Let's hear what he had to say.
Thank you for joining us on Transparency Files, sir. And on this week's episode, we are celebrating the African Union Anti-Corruption Day. So we would like for you to give us a very brief history on the African Union Anti-Corruption Day.
Thank you. The African Union Anti-Corruption Day is a day set aside by the African Union to create awareness with respect to the fight against corruption. And that day came to be when African countries gathered at the second ordinary session of the African Union at Maputo in Mozambique to adopt the African Union Convention on Prevention and Combating Corruption. So from that day, that was July 11, 2003, from that very day, Africa started celebrating African Union Anti-Corruption Day. And that day, like I said, is used to create awareness, look at the successes so far and the challenges so as to help and fight corruption across the continent of Africa.
All right, sir. So this year's theme on the African Union Anti-Corruption Day is on promoting human dignity in the fight against corruption. So, how does this theme contribute to winning the fight against corruption in the continent?
The fight against corruption is a corruption is a hidden monster, and the main approach, many countries or agencies divide one or two approach to fight to tackle corruption, and there is this notion of everybody is corrupt, which is not correct, and based on that, ICPC, let me use ICPC for instance, brought about this NIP, that they are NIP that they are using in the fight against corruption, and human dignity is one of it. Realizing that that man is not guilty and is proven guilty according to the law. ICPC evolved that so as to be able to use it as an approach in tackling corruption. And so far, we have gained success with respect to that in the fight against corruption. So it's something that most anti-corruption agencies need to look into, imbibe in their approach in the fight against corruption. Because when you have already destroyed that man's reputation we have gone to the press and do all those things, you have destroyed him, and then it will be hard to to recall what you have done. So the person, first of all, you treat him with that dignity, treat him with that respect until he's proven guilty. So this issue of human dignity is an angle that is being used to erase that conception. All are corrupt.
Promoting human dignity is not just a moral imperative, it is a critical pillar in the fight against corruption. Where dignity is upheld, systems become more just, transparent, and people-centered. Corruption continues to rob millions of their basic rights to healthcare, quality education, and to fair justice. It deepens poverty, widens inequality, and erodes trust in public institutions. To reverse the trend, the judiciary, law enforcement agencies, civil society, and all stakeholders must rise in unity. We must insist on accountability, protect whistleblowers, uphold the rule of law, and ensure that no one is above the law. Fighting corruption is not just about punishing the guilty. It's about restoring the dignity of the innocent and building a society where everyone can thrive.
Welcome back. How well do you know the ICPC Act 2000? Did you know that the law protects you when you report corruption to the Commission? Unfortunately, many Nigerians are unaware that whistleblowers have legal protection. To break it down, we spoke to a legal expert from ICPC's Legal Services Department who explained your rights and protection under the Act. Watch this.
For a fact, over the years, the anti-corruption agencies, the civil society groups, they've been advocating for a comprehensive legal framework that will give protection to information and informants, what is usually called the whistleblower protection law. Although we do not have that in place yet in Nigeria, but there are some level of protection that the provisions of the existing law, like the ICPC Act, provides for informants and information they give to ICPC. One such protection comes in the provision in Section 64, Sub 1 and Sub 2 of the ICPC Act. In those sections, provision is made for the protection of the information, the identity, for example, the name, the address of the person who gives such information. They are not supposed to be disclosed to any other person or to members of the public other than to a judge if the case is in court and the defense counsel. If there are also documents showing the name, the address of the person who made that information, subsection 2 provides that it is not expected to be made public. And if they want to be admitted in evidence in court, the judge shall direct that the name of the person making the information, the address, should be taken away. This provision is aimed at protecting the very person of the person making any information or giving information to ICPC, such that they will not be subjected to harassment and kind of victimization. So this provision is, in essence, encouraging everyone who has useful information to give to the ICPC to do so without being afraid of the fact that the information will be disclosed to the person you are making it against or to members of the public. So we encourage everyone to please come with any information that will be useful to ICPC, and you'll be rest assured that your identity and everything about your person will be protected under this provision.
As we move towards the end of today's episode, let's join Khadija Ibrahim for updates from our state offices.
A report from Sokoto State reveals that the resident anti-corruption commissioner, Mr. Shintema Binga, led a delegation to pay a courtesy visit to Usman Danfodio University Teaching Hospital to advocate for preventive anti-corruption measures. He stressed the need for public institutions to uphold ethical and professional standards while encouraging an open engagement with the ICPC. The delegation was received by the Chief Medical Director, Professor Anas Ahmad Sabir, who reaffirmed the hospital's commitment to supporting the anti-corruption drive through awareness creation. Similarly, from Lagos State comes a report that the resident anti-corruption commissioner, Mr. Alexander Chukura, led the ICPC team to pay a courtesy visit to the Lagos Command of the Department of State Services, DSS, to reinforce strategic collaboration between the two agencies. He stated that the DSS has remained a critical ally in the Commission's mission to promote integrity and accountability. The team was received by the Director of DSS Lagos Command, Mr. Babajide Adisa, who expressed appreciation for the visit and acknowledged the ICPC's consistent record of professionalism and integrity. Coming from Owerri, Mrs. Chinwe Agbeocha of Public Enlightenment and Education Department has sensitized the staff and management of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security on the need to shun corruption and serve the people better. She stated that corruption as it relates to agricultural sector shouldn't be seen only as a financial crime, but a threat to the survival of rural communities and Nigeria as a whole. And from Adamawa State, Mr. Shadrach Dauda has sensitized the students of Praise Academy Bature on behavioral change and examination malpractice. He noted that the purpose of the sensitization was to catch them young in the fight against corruption and urged the teachers to uphold the virtue of integrity while remaining committed to their responsibilities.
Fellow Nigerians, do you know that constituency projects are actually your projects? Do you know that constituency projects are funded by the federal government? Do you know that you can track release of constituency project funds for projects located in your constituency and follow up to know how they have been executed? Constituency projects happen because government does not want to leave any community out in development efforts. You have a responsibility to know what constituency project has been planned for your community, how much has been allocated for it, and whether value for money has been delivered. Take ownership of constituency projects located in your community. Protect them because they belong to you. Government knows about your needs and is planning for you. Government needs your help to ensure quality delivery. Know that constituency projects are actually your projects. Protect your constituency project. My constituency, my project.
For information on funds allocated to projects in your constituency, call 0800 2255 4272.
This message is from the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission and the National Orientation Agency.
That's how far we can go on this week's edition of Transparency Files. Don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms as shown on your screen. You can also catch previous episodes on our YouTube channel at ICPC Nigeria. Thank you for watching. See you next week. I am Hawasani Garba saying bye for now.